Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is a briefing from www.central-mosque.com about the honey scam. Imagine your child is not well and someone says Allah has put the cure in honey, give him honey. This child, or even you for that matter, consume honey for months on end and absolutely nothing happens, no effect whatsoever. Why is that? I'm here to give you some guidance on that issue. Bees are dying all over the world. In America, 50% of the bees are dead. It doesn't take a lot of intelligence to figure out the bees produce honey. So if the bees are dying, honey's production is coming down. However, the demand for honey is increasing. So in 2018, the demand of honey is 8 times what it was in year 2000. So the production is dying, but the demand is increasing. So and if you go to the supermarket, you'll see that the prices of honey are really cheap. You can buy honey so cheap, it's unbelievable. What is going on? Supply is at a low, demand is at an all time high, prices are low. This makes absolutely no sense. Why? Because the honey market is a huge scam. It's controlled by people all over the world for profits. Let me tell you how they do this, because this is impossible according to simple laws of economics. So this story actually starts in the 1990s. The Chinese historically have been the biggest market for honey. So the China 1990 they had 7 million hives. This is the start of health consciousness in America where everyone is switching to natural products and so on. So the Chinese already have 7 million hives, but what they do is they start diluting honey with corn and sugarcane juice to and they massively flood the American and the European market with cheap honey. So the local farmers and producers can no longer compete because the market is flooded with honey and it is so cheap it's unbelievable. However, this scam of actually diluting it with corn and sugarcane, eventually their methods gets developed of detecting it. Today, the latest scam is rice starch. So what the Chinese markets do, and others have caught on, is basically that they dilute your honey with rice starch, which cannot be detected at all. And it's not just limited Chinese, it's a whole bunch of people that are doing that. So what are they doing? First of all, honeybees are supposed to go to flowers and they ingest the nectar, make honey. Instead of doing that, what they're doing is they're feeding these bees on carbohydrate mixtures, which is really high, rich content carbohydrate. So the honey that comes out is diluted anyway. Then what they do is they go to huge, massive warehouses and they chemically mix different brands of honey. So you have some cheap honey, you have expensive honey. They dilute it together to make it taste like it is a specific brand or specific species of honeybee or honey that comes from a species, special species of bees. This is what the second thing that they're doing. And secondly, obviously, what they're doing is they're taking honey and they're diluting it with rice starch. According to FDA United States, there's actually no way to detect that at the moment. So you can run all kinds of tests you want. You would have no way of knowing that the honey that you're drinking is diluted or not. There's no way to do that. So how can you protect yourself? One thing that I've heard all the time is this honey is from Medina or this honey is from Yemen. There are no quality controls in Saudi Arabia, so they sell all kinds of stuff. So just because the honey is coming or you bought it from Medina does not mean it is native to Medina. So there are a few things you need to do. Number one, obviously, you need to buy raw, wild, organic, unpasteurized honey. Anything else is just simply not good enough. And then even with those labels, they don't really mean much with a lot of scam going on because the Chinese and now the Indians and the Malaysians joining in this huge worldwide racket. Number two, buy from trusted local sources, someone that you can trust at a local market, or you know the source and how that honey has been through the process. Number three, it will be expensive. The honey production is dying, demands are increasing, so basically you're gonna have a problem. The cheap honey is never gonna be right. It's either not sourced right or it's mixed in or it's diluted, and this is the situation. So be very careful. Simply because someone you go to Medina, you go to a shop and somebody sells you honey, that doesn't really mean that honey is right for you to consume. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.